Wow, how is everyone? It's absolutely Baltic out there today. It's Sunday the 7th of January and I've caught a bit of daylight. Yay, a bit of sun, a bit of daylight there. So I'm in the koi house. Fish are looking happy. Mural is looking good. I keep going on about that. I'm in tow with my cup of coffee and my brain is just ticking over like normal, as it does. So, oh, that's lovely. So what is ticking over is, in my brain, is a spray bar. So I've got this, I'll spin you around. So I've actually got this, there's a connection at the bottom on the side of the wall, look. And coming out of there is this eyeball. And I can point it, that eyeball, I can point it up, down or whatever, and I can also spin this round with this PTFE tape. It makes the connection so it doesn't pump off, push off. And I can put that where I want. And I've been basically doing it from a third from the top, just blowing straight over. Because I don't want them swimming around the same way with, with the same current. So what I do, and also I've gone down to that level so there's no water at higher level pushing in, so it can't grab the coolness out of the air, if you like. But anyway, so I'm rethinking that now because I want to do a spray bar. Now I did one, and you'll see it on my previous videos, probably September time. When I first put this pond up, I had a spray bar and it was about a foot long, and I basically cut with an hacksaw slots. Well, I've used the same sections that one here. There was a short piece and two elbows, and I've got a street elbow coming straight out the wall connector of the tank, coming straight onto an elbow, and I had this set last year. So I could actually, in theory, I could have that on the surface, and I had that on the surface, and that gives a good reduction. But I've been watching a lot of Koi Wholesale and Ricky Stoddart's videos, and a few people with these spray bars on the surface. So I've made this. As I've already mentioned it, when I cut the holes in here, I basically saved stuff, and I saved the plastic, and I found a use for it because I've stuck it on the end with a bead of silicone with the HA6 black on there. So I've made my own cap end, and that is absolutely solid. That's going nowhere. And I've basically made this piece so it comes from about there to there, and I'm going to hopefully get it to just touch this wall here. There's a bit of resistance so it can't blow off, hopefully. None of these connections are glued, and I've cut and I've just drilled, literally just done it, took me about a minute, just got my hand drill out and just put holes in all the way down about an inch apart. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 holes. So what I thought was, would be interesting. No, I'm not showing you how I've done it, it's just dead simple. Look, if you DIY, you can, anyone can do that. Like a little flute. So what I'm going to do while I'm in here is, and I've not tried this yet, guys, and as you know, this is split off to run through the moving bed, and there's the outlet to the moving bed, and I'll measure the water flow through that in a minute. Now I think what I'm going to do as well, before I do this, I might try and get that water to loop over so I can measure the flow rate in that, and I'll report on that what it is. But what I thought would be interesting for you guys is if I, oh god, that's quite a lot of pressure. Wow, that is a lot of pressure. That surprised me. That surprised me. I did not think. Wow. Wow, I'm amazed. That is, when the pump is pumping out full bore, you don't realise how much pressure is coming out until you put some back pressure, and that took me a bit of force to get that in there. Then I'm back and I've managed to put that in and wedge it in, and I've just angled it up a bit. That is creating quite a disturbance. I'm surprised at the backflow, and if this pump was turned up much more, it's on 50 at the moment if I remember right. Yeah, just above 50, so that's on 50. And that is quite a disturbance. Now the only thing I don't like about it is the amount of disturbance it causes. I quite like a calm pond, if that makes sense. I like to watch them here a little bit. But when I sat here, all you see is disturbance. Look, you can't see them. And here, look, you can't see them because the disturbance on the actual pond surface is so great. But as you can see straight away and with immediate effect, is look at the amount of surface disturbance this creates. I mean, look at the bubbles straight away. Look at them straight away. And what happens is, once that disturbance, when that disturbance hits, so once that water hits the water, causes disturbance, it creates a bubble, and the bubble travels and creates more velocity, if you like, and then it pops. And that's how you get oxygen in the pond. It's not by an air stone. All that is doing, that's not pumping oxygen in. All that is doing is putting air in, and then the air stone creates disturbance on the water, or in the water like that does, to create the bubbles, which then moves through the water and pops. Okay, and that's how you get oxygen in the water. Now the only other thing with this as well, where there's a risk, if you do get some muck coming down, if it gets stuck, you might get an odd spray coming up somewhere else, so it might spray up where you don't want it to. There we go, happy days. What's the moving bed doing? These are nappy as pig in shit, these are. You can see the air's really going out. I've changed that air stone in there. The moving bed is doing fabulous. Now the only thing that has popped into my head is, and I'm rethinking this, I seen a post on a Facebook page that someone had mentioned Canterbury stone or something. It's them chippings you have on rendered properties. And they said that and you can get it as aquarium gravel. It's called the same thing, Canterbury Spar. Called Canterbury Spar, this stone. And they put it in their filter media, and apparently it keeps their pH. They claim that it keeps their pH and KH stable. So I was thinking of getting some. So what got me thinking is, the only thing with plastic media such as K1 and such of these pond pads, are you lacking the diversity of media? Hence why it is effective to have a shower with a stone media or alpha grog, so on and so forth. So in here I've got what's that stone that meant to maintain KH for you? I can't remember what it's called, but I've got a bag of that in here, a sack of it in there. I've got some of those tubes of ceramic media in there. I've got plastic balls in there, some plastic balls in there. And I'm convinced that media such of these types, i.e. stones and gravel, or that type of media, I think it colonises quicker than plastic media. Okay, so I'm just thinking, so I was going to get some of this Canterbury Spar gravel, say, I don't know, 10 kilo of it, or a 25 kilo sack, put some in there, and then put the rest of it, say 10 kilo in there, and the other 15 kilo, get a big onion sack, gravel bag, and put it in and hook it in and have it in there. So that's turning over within the media as well. So that will colonise, but also, if that claim is right, it stabilise the pH as well. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Turn me back down to cold temperatures I think some people in Kent down south have had some snow. We certainly have in Scotland, and in here in Nottingham, in the Coy house at the moment with a few plants in here. It is currently 12.5 degrees in here. It's getting towards freezing outside. It has been pretty cold. I've noticed on this citrus tree, which is quite nice, the citrus standard here, I've got to trim this down soon to get it in, because it's like a standard, like a ball. It's starting to flower again, which is certainly nice. So there's lots of flowers this year coming on that again. There's already a lemon on there, so it's quite nice to see. The 2K pond, if you want to call it that, grow on, is doing well, doing really well still. Not a lot to report, as you know. It's that time of year and there's not a lot going on. However, over there you can see that stream. I've not been in here for a good day. I didn't come in here yesterday. It's Wednesday, 1833, and it's Wednesday the 9th. I didn't come in here yesterday, and I think I came in the morning before, and so it was Sunday. So on Sunday I made the spray bar there, which is, it's about 2.5 foot, and it's just got holes, a series of, I think, 4mm holes about every inch all the way down, and I've shown it on the video. And so I've just come in and just see how that's going on, and I'm really impressed with it actually. Now the only thing with these, when you get more disturbance on the surface of water, you get more DOCs or foam. But DOCs is dissolved organic compounds. You don't know what they are, and it's like a weir. When you see a river and a weir and the waters and beaches and the water's thrashing, similar to this. This is actually where it causes that disturbance and causes the foam, and it binds the organics. So it's not accumulating in such a way where it's foaming, but you can see where the disturbance is in the water, and it's creating all those bubbles. Those bubbles will put oxygen into the water, makes it more oxygen rich, which is the main benefit from it. So I'm really pleased with that, so thumbs up. I know Koi Wholesale do this on most of their ponds. Yeah, and then the other thing is I've got a nitrite test on the windowsill there going, so I'm going to have a look at that. So I'll be timed on for 5 minutes, and I'll give you a live update, if you like, of how the moving bed's going. So I've not looked in here yet, so let's have a butcher's. Getting some DOCs in there, look. So that's the same sort of thing. My watch is going off. I'll say it's reached the time limit. So that's that. So yeah, this is getting, look, now it's been going a while. I'm getting some foam on there. All on this side, look. So that's going well. They're bubbling, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so there's obviously more DOCs. They've only been fed once. The water's actually dropped to 10.4 because the ambient temperature outside is getting really cold. So that's 5 minutes on the test. So I'm going to spin you around and we'll have a look at this nitrite test to see what is going off there. That's looking better. So I would say now I'm somewhere between 0 and it's obviously not that. I'll tell you what, I'll put it the other way around. So you've got to try and match up which one is closest. So yeah, we're still around about 0.25, but before it was 0.25 and got more of a purple tinge, whereas now it's getting a bit more of a blue tinge. So it's looking like they're dropping it down to 1 feed a day. Is certainly helping. So if I was to check the temperature, pH, and so on and so forth, the temperature is 10. So let's say 10. The pH is normally about 8.2. So if I go temperature, pH, temperature is 10 here. So at that I could have 0.7 of free ammonia in the pond. So that would be ammonia. There is one thing to conclude on. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and the reason for that is by the time this video goes out, the channel may have reached 3,000 members. Now that blows my mind to me, that me on my own here in my own little world, and with my interactions with you people in the comments and things like that, it blows my mind that there's 3,000 people that's hit that subscribe button. And this last month, I've got to say, it's been absolutely awesome. It really has. I think there's been, currently as it stands now, I think there's been 90 new subscribers in the month of December, which is just, I don't know why that is. I don't know whether the moving bed has got some interest, coupled with maybe me interacting more, you know, on the comments and stuff. How is everyone? Hope you're all okay, keeping the koi house. And on my last video with my spray bar that I made, I said I'm going to heat it up and bend it. Well, I did that, fitted it and left it, and it was fine, working absolutely spot on. One tip I gave you on this is don't do too many holes initially, because that will mean that the back pressure in the pipe is not enough and the flow is not that great, so it's less effective. So it was nearly spot on. I got come in there this morning and I noticed that there weren't no holes here, so I thought I'll just tweak it, put a couple more holes in. I got carried away and I put more holes in, so I basically doubled the holes. So the gap was, say, that much, and I put one in the middle on every one. And the advice that I gave, I went against, so therefore made this less effective, because there was more output of flow, yes, but it wasn't, there was no back pressure, so the pressure was reduced coming out, so it made it less effective. So what have I had to do? I've had to actually, I've used, instead of making it again, I've actually blocked the holes up with HA6 silicone. So this is dry now, so I'm going to put this back in and hope I've not wrecked a bit of pipe. Anyway, on another video as well, my last video, I got a bit of, there was some chat going regarding turnover of moving beds. Really interesting stuff, it really is. And it really does get the brain matter working. Now, this moving bed, which supplies, is teed off the main return, if you like, is an isolated filter from the existing filter, from the main filter of the system. Therefore you can regulate the water flow through it. Now my mind, the way my mind works is just very practical, and to me that contact of media is constant. Therefore, regardless of how much water the water flows through it, whether it's slow or really fast, it's still in contact with the beneficial bacteria, which is removing molecules of ammonia and nitrite through the filter. Now there's a train of thought. If you start thinking about this, if you increase that flow, are you going to turn over or put water from the pond which is here, and remove that the molecules of ammonia and nitrite and move them through the actual moving bed? therefore remove the ammonia and nitrite from the pond? And I would say yes. So actually it goes against what I said, that it is important that the water flowing through it is adequate. But in my case, and if that was the case, you would expect, would you not, to have, if I was to test the water flowing out of the moving bed, that could be clear, 0 nitrite, and the water tested in the pond could have a reading of nitrite and ammonia. Brain matter goes. So at the moment I've got a test going off, a nitrite test. One is water taken from return from the moving bed, and the other is water taken from the pond. Okay? And I would say that the water is about, or the tests are about coming up to being done at 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I've probably got another minute or so, so I'm going to put this, while we're live on the screen, put this back on the outlet. And what I was going to do actually, and I might do after this video, report back later, I might couple up a bit of pipe and see what the flow is through my return pipe. It's under the water at the minute, so it's a bit difficult. And test that with my flow cup, which goes up to 5 gallons per minute. So I might do that. So let me pop this back on, and then I'll bring back with me the nitrite tests. So there we go, the spray bar is back on, and I'm happy with that, that's great. What I have noticed, is I didn't cover one of the holes up enough, and there's a little fine hairspray of water spraying out, so I probably will have to disconnect that again and put a bit more HA6 on there, so it's not, you know, a rogue spray. But the actual return of water is about bang on now. It's actually in a direction which suits me. I have actually turned this off earlier and tweaked it to test this theory of water flow through there, and as you can see, the flow through that is now greater. So I've got a balance of water through the pond, so I should get the pull through the bottom drain, because that's not reduced, as you can see by the flow there. But I've got a lot more water flow through the moving bed. You can see there's quite a lot more. Now, how have I achieved that? Well, I've achieved it by putting the the 10k pump on a 5k filter, remember, for koi. I've actually turned this up to 60%, so that's running at 60%. So if it's a 10k pump at 60k, I'm assuming that the 10%, instead of running at 50%, I'm running a 10% loss through pressure head, through pressure loss through the pipe work and stuff. So when the pump is on, the restriction through there, the restriction through the pipes and fittings, even though there's not much, but there's fittings, they've got a pump up there as well. So the loss of that water flow through there and through the pond, I'm accounting for 10%. Hence, if I've got it right, and it obviously will be a tweaking game, this is running at 60%, which will hopefully mean I've got 5,000 litres still running through the Easy Pod. So that Easy Pod won't be affected. If you run too much through an Easy Pod or Nexus filters or many filters, you'll find that you get fines through it. They don't collect as well and you get mucky water. So I want to get that balance. Now at the minute it looks like there is too much. Oops, excuse me. It's looking like there's too much flow through there for me. So I've got to tweak this and I'll report back, guys. Now, to conclude this part of the video, if we look at this, this is the water coming out of the bed, 0. In the pond, 0. So I've got 0 nitrite going through the system. Now, nothing at all. So to me, no amount of turnover is going to increase the removal of the nitrite because it's at 0. So you could argue that I'm now wasting money, and because I'm running at 52 watts and there's no nitrite in the pond. So what's the point? Why? What's the point? Now, conversely, if it was to build up to summer and I was getting nitrite, this might be at my peak running. So at my peak of running, this is the maximum that I can probably get through, because if I run it too fast, the Easy Pod will go into a meltdown. Okay, so at the minute, 60% I think I'm anticipating will be the maximum that I will be able to run this system through the Easy Pod and move in bed. I can't push any more through that filter. So I think that will be on 60% with my system. I think. I could be wrong. Like I say, it's all trial and error. There's the Easy Pod. It seems happy enough. Look at the moment. It's not dropped down in water level or anything. So what do you think? What do you think? I'm so happy to be down to nitrite 0 though. If the water was warmer, I could up this to 2 feeds, but I can't because it's a cold spell here in the UK. I'm at 10.7. You can't see it on there, but I'm at 10.7. So that's that. Yeah, so at the minute, 0 nitrite. So I'm actually wasting wattage, aren't I, in my mind? I'm wasting money now, because I could probably turn this down 12 watts and save 12 watts an hour. Don't sound a lot, but mounting up over a day, a week and a month, that's energy that I don't need to be burning now because I've got 0 nitrite. What do you think? Comments down below. Thanks for the discussion, it's very interesting, and see you on the next one. Thanks for subscribing. Please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already.